What about Drexel?
Watch out.
Where's Drex?
He's not here.
All right, Pete. Yeah, he's like, you have to throw it. That's what Gary stole. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey.
That a super chat?
I guess.
Eric, that's one of those super chats like in your streams you're like, this motherfucker just dropped a 20 and walked. That's exactly.
I walked away. Cocky, man, I respect it. I respect that. So I guess, are we just we're gonna go?
Yeah, we might as well. What's going on, everybody? Now, as you know, we are always highly organized. And very timely, so we're a little bit late and a little bit gay, but we're ready to rock and roll. We might as well all introduce ourselves. And more than a little gay, you might not be wrong. It's not June anymore, sir. But we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves just in case.
Yeah, let me start. That's Nick Ricada of Ricada Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I'm Ryan Cannell, and I love illegal immigrants.
That is slander. That is Ryan Kinnell of RK Outpost, the most non-controversial person who loves Universal Studios. So, I'll pass it on.
My name is Eric July, and if PayPal would give me my fucking money, I would appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. It's a pleasure to be here. You guys are amazing. I want to give a shout out to Krista Nova, who is cosplaying as Yara from the Rippleverse.
That's amazing.
That is awesome. I would like to thank Nick Ricada for setting up this organized disaster. None of us know what the fuck's going on, but we're here. Let's get this party started.
Hello, everyone. We're going to start out, as you know, I'm a bit of an anime expert myself, so I want the panel to keep up. I'd also like to acknowledge Az from Eat, Heel vs. Babyface, because I didn't do it last panel, and he bitched for a month. So, let's hear it for Az! Thank you, Gary, for your now, honestly, the most famous man here. Most famous YouTuber with under 100,000 subscribers. Yay!
Where's Yellow Flash?
Not Yellow Flash, I'm sorry.
Where's Yellow?
My name is Jay. My channel is Drunk3PO. Please subscribe. Yeah. The only reason I'm up here is because I'm best friends with Gina Carano, so that's
Well, I'm Eric July. Some people know me as Young Group of 5'9". And I don't want to say much. I do want to say thank you guys for all the support with this Rippleverse stuff. This has been unbelievable, beyond my wildest dreams. Seeing even people like fucking Krista cosplaying. That's some things that I still have to get used to, and it just really goes to show what we're capable of with this community. So thank you guys so much for that.
Hey guys, I'm in from a humble South Korean bathroom to here in Houston, Texas. I'm Legal Mindset, Andrew Esquire. Nice to meet everybody here.
And we do have to acknowledge he's here in spirit, even though he's in Tampa right now. Critical drinker.
Wait, he's in Tampa?
He's in Tampa for Tampa Comic-Con.
Motherfucker.
But I do got some Jack Daniels for drinkers, so here you go.
God,
You disgust me. We are live streaming on Ricada. Oh, never mind. You're we're actually streaming on Geeks and Gamers now.
That's fine. No, it's cool. I'll be streaming when they decide that 7 days is actually less than 8. Because I am on the 8th day of my 7-day ban.
Don't worry, I'm doing a local stream, guys.
No, I can't. I'm not walking around the streets of Florida.
But yeah, we don't really know what we're supposed to be doing up here, so we're probably going to talk a lot about what we're doing and why we appreciate all of you and how I say it all the time, but the only reason we're able to do this is because of you and all of your support. And I think that we're all fairly regular people except for Ricada. He's super famous, and we just have to live up to his massive
Live in my shadow. It's nice and cool. It's got a triangle at the end of it, though.
But I'm going to hand the microphone to the guy that really knows how to bullshit his way through a live stream. That's Gary.
You can't talk about your 10 channels and all your subscribers and what channel you're going to start. You are.
Yeah, Geeks and Gamers. I don't know if you guys know this. Geeks and Gamers has 3 people who subscribe 100,000 times to 15 different channels.
Only explanation.
It really is. They're all named George Floyd. I love Texas. Texas is great. Nobody's wearing a mask. We're all walking around. Yeah, he wants to hide his face. If I look like Yellow Flash, I'd hide my face too. I'm just kidding. I have no idea what he looks like. Oh, wow. Then I retract it. Reptimus is fat. I would like to say that. So. Sorry, that was.
I'd say shots fired, but I don't see a harpoon gun.
She said I had a bad haircut. She thought I was Yellow Flash.
Talk into the mic.
I don't know if she said it was a bad haircut. It was something about Hitler Youth or something like that. So I guess it depends on your perspective. But I mean, me and Nick. I mean, I think we understand where that comment's coming from.
Right here.
Looks like an updated clone of Hitler. Holy fuck. That's not a comment on my channel, by the way. Just want to make that clear.
It's the glowy swoop. Get it right, Bigot.
Right. Me and Ricada both have Ray-Bans today. We got mistaken for each other a couple times yesterday, as we often do. So everything is right with the world.
Yes. I guess the purpose of this panel, since we get to determine what it is, because I'm pretty sure it still says TBA on the description, is we all have been out here, and I don't know how everybody got started, but maybe we can talk about our origin stories, because it's this anime, and we can do an episode 0 to try and milk more money out of people.
Episode 0!
So,
Some issue 0 coming soon.
yeah. So I'll start, because I think like YouTube is it's this weird enigma of a business model. We're at the mercy of a bunch of people who literally hate us, but are conflicted because we make them a fortune. And so we walk this line, but this is something that you couldn't really do 20 and 30 years ago, but we do it now. And I think maybe it'd be interesting if we all just talk a little bit about how we got started. And for me, it was a complete accident. As many of you will know, I was covering I was doing a drunken rant about Dick Masterson being sued by a weirdo named Maddox. And I was too stupid to figure out how to post this shit on a Facebook private group because the video was too long. So I uploaded it to YouTube and then got a bunch of people to watch and say, hey, you should do this all the time. And I was like, you know what? I don't have my own will, so I'll do that. But then, you know, that's how you start, or that's how I started. And as I like developed it and started seeing, okay, this is a real thing that can work, and this is something that people want to hear, and realizing that we have the opportunity to build something that doesn't exist. But it could. And the reason it can, of course, is all of you guys. Because you go, hey, look, a drunk asshole. I'll watch him all the time. And that's baffling to me, and you should all seek therapy. But as that like got going, I recognized that, like, for me, that was when I realized I needed to build something. I needed to make something. And so this is my something. And I think every one of us up here is someone who is out there going, yeah, this is something. This is how I build what I build. I put my random skill set to use. And so to me, I think that's what YouTube is becoming about. And I want to hand off to the guy who's doing it far better than any of us have ever dreamed, and that's Eric July, who's building the biggest shit I've ever seen.
So I think, and I'm not saying this like obviously as a brag, I'm just saying this because it shows how random it can be. I think of everybody here, I've been on YouTube the longest. I was 16 years old when I started my YouTube channel. And I was posting, like, this was back when I was trying to get in college as an athlete, and I was posting like my old track meets and stuff like that, trying to get recruited and random stuff. And then that kind of morphed into boogie videos, that turned into like me doing vocal covers of random stuff, and we gained a following along the way, and then, you know, everything kind of formed, and it was like, hey, this is just a hub for everything me. And I just started doing videos on whatever the hell I wanted to, and obviously I got blessed. But it was so random, like granted, yeah, I had already had close again on a, you know, like 50,000 subs during the time, but I did a Supergirl video, which was the video that took off for me. And that video took off 6 months after I did it. I have no idea why. I had looked, I was like,
Well, Eric, obviously you found the one thing that literally everyone in the world agrees with: CW is fucking trash.
Yeah. And that's true. And I guess it shows how kind of we were ahead of that, because I was talking about how dog crap it was. Everybody told me I was overreacting at the time, and then they came around and said, okay, yeah, this shit is pretty bad. Oh. Oh, man. But, like, you know, so it was random as hell, and I had these upward kind of momentums and whatever, and then it kind of went up and down, and then it kind of skyrocketed. But it was random. So there's like no one way to do this shit. I know everybody has their advice on, hey, you want to get out there and start doing YouTube videos, you have to do this, this, and that. All those videos are bullshit, because none of us know what the fuck we're doing. It was just random. Some of us got blessed with the algorithm. And yeah, to keep an audience, you have to have some sort of charisma, something that people want to view. But a lot of that stuff is just going to be not necessarily by chance. Oh yeah, that's part of it. That's of course, but that helps. Let's say that. That certainly helps. But a lot of it is just going to be, hey, people come across your content. Can you keep them around? And if you have something that can keep them around, it'll work out. So again, it's random. Some people, like Gary, came out of nowhere. I was looking at this the other day. There was a time where him and Flash had like 100 subs, and that was like what, like 2 years? It wasn't even that long ago. It was like maybe 3 years ago. Yeah, it wasn't even that long ago. And now you see, he just, and we need to give him a round of applause, just hit 500,000 subs. It's huge. But it's a testament to this like entire community like that's on our kind of little corner of the internet, because you guys make this shit happen for us. Like, you have literally, like, over the last couple of weeks with the launch of the Riververse stuff, you guys have literally changed my life. Like, and I mean that sincerely. So again, I thank you guys so much, but I like to act like I know what the hell I'm doing. A lot of it's just me turning the camera on, like whatever, I'm gonna talk about whatever today. So it's kind of how it works.
Yeah, so I'll give the quick version. Obviously, I created Geeks and Gamers in 2011. It was not meant to be a media or a YouTube channel or anything like that. It was just wanted to play video game tournaments. And it evolved a lot over the years. And, you know, I wanted the team element. I never wanted it to be about me. I wanted to have a team. I like having a team. I like having different individuals. Maybe that's from a sports background, but something happened around, I'd say like 2014. Some of the guys on the team came to me and they wanted to create a YouTube channel. I'd never wanted to be in front of a camera. I didn't have a comfort level in front of the camera. I didn't have any, you know, confidence. But I was like, yeah, if we're going to start a YouTube channel, you guys can do it. It was objectively terrible content that we were producing, but it was content. But, and it's still bad, but at least it gets clicks now. But, so, you know, a few years passed and we really didn't get any traction, and I was wanting us to do something different, and I was really buttoned up in my approach because I didn't feel like sharing my opinions was necessary, being the owner. But the political landscape started to change, and people started to weaponize political opinions, and I was a Donald Trump supporter, a proud Donald Trump supporter, but it was privately. And but I didn't publicly talk about that. I didn't think it was anybody's fucking business who I voted for. I'm like, I voted for this guy. It's not anyone's business. And I started to see the change in me is where I started to see people weaponizing political opinions and going, oh, this guy that was in this movie, there's a rumor he's a Trump supporter, or this person that owns this company, there might be a Trump supporter. So I was like, well, if you fuckers are gonna do that, I'll just tell you the fucking world, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. What are you gonna do about it? Because I wanted to build an audience that wasn't gonna turn on me when they heard that some left-wing blue-haired whale, shout out to Infamous, was out there trying to, say things about people. So I'm not gonna let you weaponize my personal opinions. And luckily, around that time that I started getting to that point, a movie called The Last Jedi came out. And by the way, that whole I Love The Last Jedi clip that's so famous online, that happened in Houston, Texas at the Holiday Inn downtown, just so everybody knows. That is, so you can go and take a picture there if you want for all the left-wingers that use that. But yeah, and so I started to get a little more opinionated, and I started speaking out. And at that time, Geeks and Gamers had, this is early 2018, Geeks and Gamers had like 800 subs. And I started talking about The Last Jedi, and I started to meet really cool people. I didn't know what was going to happen when I started speaking out and calling out, in my opinion, what I was seeing in Hollywood. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to get hit by an avalanche of hate, but I started to see more people that were agreeing with me. And as much as you guys tell us, like, oh, you guys speak for us and all that, it's like, no, you guys speak for us. Because I didn't know anybody was going to agree with me. I had no idea, and I was in a weird place as a fan. And then here we are all these years later, and the best thing about the group of people I'm on this panel with and the overall YouTube sphere we have is there's no jealousy, there's no envy. We're all happy for each other because we know that we all have our respective lanes that we're in, and we're all kind of part of the same bigger picture, but in our own little way we have our own path. And so when Gary hits 500,000, when Ripa hits 3 million, when Ricada busts 100,000 live stream viewers twice in the past few months, when Drunk Repeat, when Jay is hanging out with Gina Carano, like it's amazing. When Ryan's being racist, yeah, sexist as well. My apologies. But yeah, so that's the best part of it, is that I watched a lot of movie talk YouTube prior to The Last Jedi, and I saw a lot of jealousy when other channels it seemed like they were in competition, and they all wanted access, and they wanted Hollywood to acknowledge them, and they wanted passes, and they wanted to get, because everybody knows the YouTube algorithm. If you get out in front of a movie review, if you're out there first, you're going to get picked up by the algorithm. You just are, if it's a big tentpole movie. So all of these channels were so desperate to one-up each other. And I was just a fan, just like a lot of you are fans of a lot of the channels you watch. I was just a fan watching Collider and Schmoes and Screen Junkies and all these guys. And now they're pretty irrelevant in the big picture. And they're all really upset that all of us have traction. And that's...
Shout out John Campion.
Shout out John Campion. He's about the only one that's still relevant. But he's a big fan of Ryan. He sent you a $20 super chat. Coincidentally, he didn't feature you in his, hey, I sent YouTubers super chats. I wonder how that would have went.
Yeah, he did this big compilation where he went around to movie YouTubers and like sending John Campion sends them super chats and they react. They're like, oh my God, John Campion, this is incredible. And
Literally who?
yeah,
Like, that's not a joke. Like, who the hell is this?
John Campion is a guy who used to be very popular and has still got a nice show going on, but it used to be part of this big like movie talk like Jeremy was talking about, like old YouTube 5 years ago. But anyway, he came to my chat and probably explained to him very calmly why he was completely wrong about the Thor box office. Somehow I didn't make the cut. I didn't make it in his super cut. If I sent YouTubers super chats, wonder why, John? I'm still looking for that video.
And yeah, so here we are that we're having things happen every single day for us. Nick Rekieta was obviously nice enough to call me up and you know, invite me to this as he did everyone else. And that's what's cool about it. You know, as one of us takes off, it seems like me and Nick don't talk regularly or anything, but we collab and we all have each other's back. And I would collab with him this week, but can't live stream.
Remember when Jeremy said this is the short version and he's still fucking talking?
Well, if you quit taking the fucking
407 panels ago.
But yeah, so it's just really cool, and I'm really thankful for it. But now that you've heard the story of me, I'm gonna send it off to a much more successful YouTuber, Drunk 3PO.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. The short version is, I wanted to talk about Star Wars. I put up a iPhone 8 camera. I bought a fake microphone from a yard sale so it looked like I was speaking into a mic. And I went and bought some toys from Big Lots and put it on a shelf behind me, and I was just thought I was a professional. And I got attacked by Slash Films for saying I looked stupid and that I didn't know what I was talking about, which is pretty much true. And that's how I met Jeremy. But the one thing that I did have that none of these men had, I had hot women always in my chat all the time and following me on Twitter. I don't understand it. It's the truth. Tell us the truth. And he was just like, who are you and why do these hot women follow you? I was like, I have no idea. It's just like, I'm an idiot with an iPhone 8 with a fake microphone holding it like I'm speaking in a mic saying, Star Wars sucks, and that's about it. And so then he's like, well, I need to bring you on the team because we have no women watching Geeks and Gamers. So I was like, all right, cool. So if it wasn't for me, people like Krista Nova wouldn't be part of Geeks and Gamers and things, and that's the truth, things like that. So then, you know, I reached peak status with Gina Carano. It's like, how the heck does Jay, someone that has 8,000 subscribers on YouTube, get to talk to someone like Gina? Because I'm Jay. That's just how it's what I do. It's like, I'm not like you guys. Like, I don't understand what it is. So it is what it is. That's how I got started, and I don't even know what I'm doing here. So it's like, we'll see what happens tomorrow because my life is a whirlwind. I got attacked by a big fat blue whale with apparently on Twitter yesterday who thought I was Yellow Flash and said I had a terrible haircut. And it's like, how do I end up in these situations? So that's why I'm wearing a hat today. So that's the whole thing. I love you guys. Listen, the serious truth, I started a YouTube channel because I wanted to raise some extra money because many of y'all know that I build orphanages in other countries and stuff in the States. And you guys like came through big time every year. And everyone who bought like a 9-line shirt, we use a lot of that money to help veterans in America. So I cannot thank you guys enough for just all the support and love that you gave me.
What the hell is happening over here?
You know.
Oh yeah, I'm Jay. I don't know what I'm
Nick
doing. By the
Rekieta,
way, no, I build orphanages.
Yeah, it's true. I just want to show that I have the hottest women and I do the most good, other than like what you do on your stream. I'm done. Thank you.
I save cats from, terrible paraplegia. I build dog wheelchairs in my spare time.
Reddit. I mean, I kicked over a homeless guy's bucket of change the other day. Does that count? There we go.
Only if you give it to a veteran.
I'm not going to promise to keep it short. There we go. Mine was an accident. I was podcasting a little bit at the comic shop, because I used to own a comic shop. You might have heard that in San Francisco. And I liked it a lot. It was terrible, but we had a good time. It was called We Have Issues, so that was the start. And then a customer of mine was shopping, and I thought they said the word nerdrotic, which they didn't. They said neurotic, but I thought it was nerdrotic. I'm like, that's cool. I don't know why. I like that name, so I went on GoDaddy, and I claimed the name, nerdrotic.com, back in 2011. Didn't think about it for 3 more years. So yeah, I started my shop my podcast, because that's how it started. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
There was a live chat for
No.
a year and a half.
No, I was recording everything. It was terrible. It was just terrible. But it was 2014, so it was after I sold my comic shop and I was sad. I wanted to talk about comics and nerd stuff. I had a couple of friends who were willing to talk with me, and it was just to stay in the realm, basically, while I restarted my life and worked day jobs, and I needed that creative outlet to justify, going back to a career I never thought I'd go back to, which was selling auto parts, which I didn't hate, by the way. It's kind of a fun job. It wasn't terrible. And then 4 years later, a woman becomes Doctor Who, and it just pissed me off. And I saw a bunch of people, wanting to complain about it, and they wouldn't say anything. They're like, no, let's give it a chance. This is gonna be great. I'm like, no, this is terrible. This is the worst decision I've ever seen, and a bunch of people are pretending it's not a bad decision because they're afraid to look bad. So I said, fuck it. So I don't care. I said, the doctor's a dude. He's got a schlong. He's got a penis. He is a man. That's it. It's not bad to say that. There can be a female character and a separate male character. And it was this big controversial thing, and that's one of the first videos that took off. It was even nobody listened to what I had to say about Last Jedi at all. I thought it was an abomination, but nobody watched, so it's fine. I wasn't, bent out of shape about that. Yeah. So I complained about Doctor Who, and all of a sudden, Dave Cullen gives me a shout out, which I thought was completely surreal. Me and Bowles Trek at the time, and I remember talking to Bowles Trek going, dude, we got a shout out from Dave Cullen. This is big time. And and it was kind of off to the races. And at the time, I had a day job working for Elon, working for Tesla, and it was a really good job. And I went to my wife and I went, I think this YouTube thing might take off. I'm gonna quit my job. And she's like, what? And I said, yeah. At the time, I think I had 2,000 subscribers, and I was making $500 on YouTube. I'm like, no. I feel it. I think something. It's you got to take the chance, And she's like, "You're crazy." So I promised her, give me 6 months. I had a bunch of money saved up, so give me 6 months, and if it doesn't work, I'll just go back and get another job. Fine. And then about 2 months later, we hit 60,000 subs on the channel. So it worked, thanks to you guys, and it was fun as hell. So it's kind of winning the lottery, but working at it, being a little more grateful. So it's all gravy. I never expected to have 5,000 subs or 10,000 subs or 20,000. So anything else that happens I'm fine if it stops tomorrow. I'm good. I'm having such a good time, especially live streaming. Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do.
Oh, I'll have to try it someday.
Yeah. I had a great live stream last night. Yeah, Friday Night Tights. So yeah, and
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Is it what is it? Do you dress up weird or whatever and dance around like Buffalo Bill? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a good
It's
show.
kind of like that.
Would you sub to me? I'd sub to me.
Yeah. That's a good That's a very good question.
We're not at the question section. It's very organized.
I said this was not going to be the short version. No. It's supposed to be like Friday